Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Today what we're going to do is we're going to install a remote switch for our remote switches. This is a 3-position, single pole, double throw switch with an on-off-on configuration, which means that in the middle nothing is connected, and when I go to either side it will momentarily connect the center post with either one of the outsides. It is spring-loaded, which is important. So when I push up, it'll connect the bottom two. When I push down, it'll connect the other two. The main thing about this switch is that it is momentary. You do not want to have a switch that stays in one position other than the off position. Otherwise you'll connect these wires for too long and you will let the smoke out of your remote switch. And everybody knows that electronics needs smoke to work. First thing you got to do is strip your wires. Now I like to take off about 1/2 inch or maybe 15 millimeters, get all of the plastic out of the way, and then I fold right in the middle there. I fold it into a nice little L shape. This makes it a lot easier to get the wire onto the little switch. Now I'm putting the common wire on the middle lug, and then it doesn't really matter how you do the other two wires, just one on each side, green one on one side, red on the other side. And here's where I found out that I had left the transformer plugged in. So first, turn off the power, then strip your wires. Once your power's off, you can go ahead and actually put your wires back on. I like to go back here at this point and make sure that I don't have any stray, anything poking out. I also put a little pressure on them in case I've nicked the wire if they break off. And then I discover that I forgot to put the heat shrink on the wires. So I take the wire off, I put the heat shrink on it, and I do this 3 times. Apparently what I need to do is plan. Now you're ready to solder. And of course, before I solder anything, I like to put a little bit of flux on there because the solder goes where the flux is. Soldering 101, the solder goes where the flux is. Put the flux where you want the solder to go, and I've noticed that I've got a little bit sticking out here, so I'm going to twist this and bend it until it's a little bit more uniform. And then we're going to go ahead and solder. Now I'm going to do this in real time because I want you guys to see that there's not a whole lot. You don't have to do this for very long. Again, always check, make sure your soldering iron is hot before you start. This is a little bit of a weird angle for me because I want to put it in for the camera, and that comes back and bites me right here when I got a little drip of solder on my thumb. It happens, but it's not that big of a deal. You can live with it. The other thing you can do is while the solder is still molten, you can position things the way you want them, and you see there it's a little bit more straight, whereas before it was a little bit of an angle. Now you heat up the wire, you bring in the solder. I got a little pop there just like I did on the first side, and I've got all 3 wires soldered here, and from start to finish to solder all 3 wires on there was about 30 seconds. If you've got that soldering iron on a wire for more than 5 to 10 seconds, I mean even 10 seconds is pushing. So hot soldering iron, flux, and minimal time. Last thing you want to do is slide your heat shrink down to cover any exposed wires. Apply a little bit of heat to it, and then it will look like this. And next time we'll test it.